What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the. Andre, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was going to the beat of the music.
That was not the beat of the music.
I don't know what that was. Welcome back to another episode of the Church Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Baldwin, and of course, I got my fellow church nerds on with me. We got Norman Heath, Darrell Walls, Pastor B, Gabe Jordan, and the deacon himself, Andre Buford. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you like, comment. I'm sorry, Mr. Nobody. That's his comic book.
Hey, Jay, I would also like you to highlight that I have officially been on the show more than Andre and our brother Brandon.
Brandon is on the escapade. I don't know
where. So now I would like to petition for. I would like to petition for. Where's Brandon?
Is that the right word?
It sounded right.
I don't know if that's the right word, but I would acknowledge that Gabe, my brother Gabe Jordan, has been on the show more times than.
And I would like to petition for "Where's Brandon" T-shirts. I would like to get off of that.
Hey, locate a legit. That's a legit petition because every time this.
Okay. Wait. I submit it to the board.
We don't need a Where's Brandon. What we just do is we'll just say Brandon's preaching shirt. So we'll just have every time we
say Brandon's preaching
and a mic's going like that and say Brandon's preaching.
Brandon's preaching.
I don't know how I feel about that because I think I like the weird. Gabe's in class shirt. Gabe's teaching shirt. I ain't get none of that. I ain't get none of that. I want justice.
You right, Gabe.
That's fair.
Gabe's too tired.
Gabe's too tired.
Hey, fellas, I'm gonna have to take off tonight.
What really, really,
Dre? Listen, make sure you like and subscribe to the Church Nerd pages. Be a part of the Church Nerd congregation. Be a certified church.
Let me also say, since we doing church announcements today, let me also say
church announcements. Pastor B.
Some of our fellow church nerds condone piracy. The church nerds do not condone piracy of any type. Anybody who is pirating intellectual property of any type, that is illegal. Don't do it.
So, I mean, if somebody's watching TikTok and I'm just watching this information that's in front of me, is that really piracy?
You are supporting piracy. We all not support piracy.
You know, AI is theoretically
we ought to dismiss it. It is, and there's ethical use of AI. You ought not unethically use AI.
I agree with everything you're saying, Pastor B. And I personally,
we just take it back when they stole
piracy.
Thank you.
I do not condone piracy.
They've been stealing from the land of the free for years. We just taking it back.
Simultaneously, if I happen to be walking down the street and the movie is playing, I can't just be like eyeballs shut and that's it.
That's not piracy.
You can watch a whole movie on TikTok. That's free.
That's piracy. That's piracy.
I still don't understand how we can do that.
That's the support of piracy.
That's not supporting piracy.
Yeah, it is. You are supporting people who are taking a video that they have pirated. You are supporting that piracy.
Okay, so let's experiment on that. If I'm walking down the street and someone's robbing a bank, and I stand by and watch the bank get robbed, am I supporting bank robbery?
No, because you are not participating in the act of bank robbery or supporting their endeavor of bank robbery. But
hey, America, I got a question. Is anything really ours?
Pirating.
Or are we Stuart?
Hey, Gabe. Hey, baby, I don't know. The Bible says the Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the food is there.
That's right.
And all that they dwell therein.
I'm just kidding. I agree with Brian.
That means
first of all, let's not take one scripture out of context. Read the rest of Psalm 24 that talks about clean hands. You supposed to have clean hands if you will take what is the Lord's and what is the fullness thereof.
So if somebody walk in a barbershop and they ask me if I would like to buy a Left Behind, the trilogy series.
You are supporting.
I'm not.
Left Behind.
You are supporting them with your money. Their thievery. Yes, you are.
But what if I walk into the barbershop and they're playing a pirated movie?
that you are supporting.
No, that can't be.
Brian,
I'm coming to get a
my haircut.
Brian, it sound like doctor.
I just need a fade, man.
That's it.
Piracy.
Brian,
I just came for a taper. That's all.
I just came for a fade.
Just to trim the edges a little bit. That's it. Not even 15 minutes. Just a quick taper. That's it.
And when did you become?
I'm trying to look presentable for my wife, man. That's all
I know you used to be on LimeWire in Pirate Bay.
No,
I know for
that
a
stuff
fact
give you viruses. That stuff give you viruses.
Oh, it
Okay, so if I walk into church,
but we ain't talking about our past. We talking about our present and our future. We talking about we in the new dispensation of grace, and God has forgiven us from what
we're talking about. Synergistic Followership. That's what we're talking about.
More grace.
So if I walk into church and they have me playing a bootleg version of Left Behind, am I supporting piracy by standing there?
Yes. Why is that church playing a bootleg version of anything? That is illegal.
Because the deacon
piracy is illegal.
Got a deal on it,
Do not let the church nerds fool y'all. Do not
because the church is stewarding finances, Brian.
Piracy is illegal.
They're being good stewards.
Hey, I seen you the link.
We got to warn people. We got to warn them. You might get left behind.
Right, I send you the link after this so you can watch Spider-Man.
America, I am not accepting pirated links. Any applications that allow you to pirate videos, I will not be accepting it.
When are you planning to go see Spider-Man, Brian?
Yes.
This week, some people.
Yep. I see the link.
If the twins allow you this week,
that is true. I'll be forgetting. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm gonna try to do that this week. So I
don't have wouldn't it be easier with twins just to watch it in the comfort of your home?
That is true.
It would if I could do it legally. Otherwise,
it is legal.
Otherwise,
you're taking back what they took from you already. Look, they tax you on tickets. You paying $10 extra for a ticket just because it's a new hit in the movies.
So we only do what's legal when it's convenient. Is that what I'm hearing the church nerds say?
Duh.
Yeah, that's what you hear. Andre say.
You heard?
No. You heard one church nerd, Andre, say that. The rest of us was quiet.
I'm just saying what all y'all thinking.
Y'all heard it.
Andre, the spokesman of the church nerds now. Apparently, we
focus, Brian. Focus.
Okay.
Listen.
Let's get back on the topic. I don't know.
Listen. Okay. I missed my brothers, man. Listen, Auntie Delphine. Andre didn't read. So, listen. Auntie Delphine is in the chat. She's always on. Auntie Delphine, what's going on? Ben said Peter Parker has one more chance. He has one more chance.
Gabe, can you want to take on that?
Well, he said I'm at the movie. I'm giving Peter Parker one more chance.
He remember because Ben has been advocate that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies haven't been good. He's been real advocate.
Crazy.
That's been real advocate.
Nuts.
That's been his advocation. That's been his advocation. He's been real advocate that Tom Holland.
Hey, he's also mourning Boston right now because he's a Boston Celtics fan. So I get it. You know what I mean?
That sounds personal. I don't like.
Well, they did.
No, he is. He's a Boston Celtics fan, and they're not like mourning because they gave Jaylen Brown away for some chips in Arizona iced tea.
Paul George still got a couple years left in.
Paul George.
Yes,
that's who I'll give him one more chance. Paul George.
I'll give it Paul George.
He might surprise.
Paul George one more chance.
He might surprise you.
Yeah, right. He ain't surprised us.
Usually, all players need is new scenery.
Man, he had 3-4 new sceneries.
Listen.
How many sceneries do you need?
Listen. We got some new scenery. We got Enes Kanter and
LA. Okay,
we got Enes Kanter and Royce Wright declaring for the WNBA draft next year. So that's gonna be interesting.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Gabe, you seen that, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
They opened themselves up a can of worms. That's what they get.
Crazy.
That's exactly what they get.
But
that is nuts.
Hold on, wait. Time out. Lady McEwen, how you gonna say good night? You just got in here talking about.
What you supposed to say? Good morning? What you supposed to say? Good afternoon?
She's tired. Sunday.
That makes sense.
That's true.
That does make sense. Good night.
That's my friend.
No, Lady McEwen was awesome. Did amazing job with first word at the convention.
Absolutely.
I concur. I didn't get a chance to see it live. I was running around But
hey, she tripped me up when she said, giving honor to my baby daddy. I love that, man. That was odd. That was
Brian.
awesome.
I can send you the link.
I was trying to finish. I was trying to finish, but so I did finally get through all of the PCFI convocation legally. I didn't illegally pirate it. It was there for free.
You can't pirate God stuff
because I got it legally because it was there for me for free.
You walk right through it.
And PCFI said I could have it for free. It was legal for me to watch it online.
I don't believe that.
So I watched it online, and I did see Pastor Loretta McEwen do a phenomenal job on the first word.
She did, absolutely.
And she did just come for you Americans. She said that we use proper English in Canada. So they say good night when it's night instead of good evening when it's not evening. Thank you, Pastor McEwen.
What makes it evening versus night right now?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I still don't know what evening means. Like, I get it's in a dictionary, but who created the word evening? Like, what does that even mean?
Like, when does evening become night?
Is it like the even time through the day? Like,
no,
like
it's
the
like
balance. I don't get it.
It's after afternoon. But before night.
Well, night is usually technically 9 p.m.
Is it like the sun, like sundown?
Yeah,
like not sundown.
So evening is from 5 to 9 p.m.
That makes
and night is from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. That is according to Quora on the internet, a place you can go and legally get information.
So what's the morning considered? I'm asking real questions.
So morning must be anytime after 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is dawn, and it goes until noon. So 5 until noon, and then it is noon, and then it is afternoon.
Sometimes I just really try to figure out why I'm American. I need to go back home. I ain't get by here.
Okay, well, have fun with that. Anyway, as Jade, our sis said, what's the topic? Because she's thoroughly confused. Listen,
Brian,
there was a situation. This was Brian did tell everybody. You didn't read your messages.
I did tell everybody in the group.
Told everybody.
You ain't tell me.
But there was a situation.
Dre was reading something else in the messages.
I said Dre should explain the topic first.
Jay,
come on.
I'm talking about the one that we talked about in our chat that we're gonna be talking about our topic. I don't know what.
I was gonna make sure that we got to be clear now because there's a lot of situations that are floating around.
Dre was reading our minutes from our meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
I just want to make sure that you know.
So what happened was, I don't know if our church nerd congregation, we want you guys, make sure you type in the chat. We want you all to engage. We want to engage. I want you all to engage our topic tonight. What is Jesus Christ?
We can do all this now.
Anyway, there was a situation that happened this week.
Let's look at that.
Go ahead, Pastor B. Go ahead. I want you to explain the topic for me.
First of all, let's look at that. So there was this post I found on Facebook. I don't know if all right. Okay. Or not.
Okay. But this is okay. I was like, where are we going?
I was too. Like, hold on.
Let me look at the Sumerian text.
I'm about to. I'm sorry. Something came up, y'all. I gotta go.
We're not doing.
That's why I asked the question because like, what situation we talking about here? Because
sorry, y'all.
I knew where to go.
Okay,
my wife's calling me. I gotta go, y'all.
Come on, y'all. Come on. We gotta go.
So there was this post that was on Facebook, and I'll read it real fast, real quick, but maybe Norm could share. But anyway, there was actually I'm just gonna paraphrase it.
What's that?
That sounds like okay. So
I will paraphrase it. So basically, it was a church drummer. Okay, we're moving on. There was a church drummer.
Somebody get their butt beat right now.
What are you talking about?
There was a church drummer.
I promise y'all, we sober.
There was a church drummer
Okay, so there's a church.
Spare the ride.
Let them finish. Gotta go.
There's a church drummer, and he's going viral because he called out his pastor for allegedly driving past him when he was walking more than a mile from the church. And what the pastor did was basically wave at him on his way by. All right. So according to the drummer, he was walking to church after he was unable to reach the church van driver. He tried to call the church van driver. The church van driver didn't answer. He was more than a mile from the church. He noticed the pastor approaching in his vehicle and assumed the pastor would stop. Instead, the drummer claims that the pastor waved at him. All right. More than 1 mile. More than 1 mile. And kept driving. That's just what the guy's saying. So the frustrated drummer took the situation to social media, questioned how a pastor could preach about compassion, fellowship, and helping others while knowingly leaving one of his own church musicians walking the rest of the way to service. All right. This is the post on Facebook. So the pastor, however, defended his actions and repeatedly responded. Here's the response of the pastor, y'all. The response of the pastor is, according to the post, I am not a chauffeur.
Jesus.
I'm not a chauffeur. And basically said he could have called the church van. The drummer pushed back, explaining that he did call the church van, exactly what he did. He attempted, but he couldn't get in contact with the driver. And so the situation divided social media. All right? Divided social media. Some argue that regardless of whether the pastor was technically obligated to give him a ride, basic kindness should have made him stop. An easy decision, especially with the drummer still more than a mile away. Others defended the pastor, saying church members sometimes place unrealistic expectation on spiritual leaders and that pastors shouldn't automatically be responsible for everyone's transportation. However, much of the criticism eventually turned towards the drummer. They urged him to delete his post, arguing that even if his feelings were justified, publicly airing an internal disagreement unnecessarily embarrassed the pastor and cast an entire church in a negative light. So one user even commented, if you wouldn't expect TD Jakes to give you a ride, don't expect your pastor to give you a ride. But okay, never mind. I'm going to leave my commentary to myself. Anyway, so now people are debating. Here's the debate as we talk about this concept of synergistic followership. The debate is basically bigger than a ride. Was this simply a pastor exercising a responsible boundary? Or did driving past someone headed to serve at your own church reveal something about the very compassion being preached at this particular pastor's church? So that's the debate that this post has kind of on social media. And so let's just start there. Any immediate reactions to the post itself and or the debate that exists? You know, was the pastor's comments warranted? You know, him waving at him going by. What are the thoughts? Anybody?
Well, Brian, I prefer to go in order.
If I'm walking to the church and I see my pastor drive by me and keep on rolling, and he see me and I see him, I ain't walking to that church no more. I'm gonna turn right back around. I came right back where I came from. No, that's disrespectful, man.
I think it was the wave. I think the wave did it. I think the wave.
It was the wave.
The wave is diabolical.
That would be me waving bye-bye. I'm gonna turn right back around and come from where I came from.
The wave is kind of diabolical. Okay, Darrell, what do you think?
What's going on?
It's kind of one of the things. Since they made eye contact, I think he should have at least offered a ride, especially for somebody who's coming to serve, who's your drummer. That if he doesn't be there in time, you're probably gonna, jump down his throat because he's not on his post. I think you should have probably picked him up. But at the same time, I do understand because there's been times I've been driving somewhere and it's like, don't look over there. There's that person. Like it's like you don't want to deal with it because if you it's honest. Like I'm just being honest. So I get both sides of it. So,
but you don't make eye contact with him and wave at him and say I ain't a chauffeur.
Right?
No.
Right?
And you're not the pastor.
Yeah, I'm not the pastor either, but yeah.
Because we all know those saints that once you give them a ride, they're gonna be calling you every.
Yeah, I mean, I know some saints who somehow can't. Okay, never mind. I was about to go down.
All right, be good, Darrell.
We all know people who show up in places like, how did you get here?
Right.
And
and stuff start disappearing when they arrive.
All right, Jay, it's your turn, Jay.
Yeah. Being a musician is already like up and down anyway when it comes to like having good leadership, and you going to serve a church that you know what I mean? So to drive past me, knowing the church is not even that far away, to wave and to keep on going, it's kind of crazy. It's but also on the flip side, I understand his feelings, but I don't think everything need to be shared on social media to get a reaction for it. You know,
he played offbeat the whole service.
Been played offbeat the entire time.
I'm sorry, my feet hurt. Sorry, Pastor.
My feet hurt. Wow.
Listen, I'm looking. I'm sorry. Before I let Gabe. I'm looking at it from being a PK and knowing who my father is. My dad definitely would have picked up somebody on their way to the service because I've seen him do it plenty of times. I've been with him before doing it, so it's just kind of crazy to wave and then to keep on going is the craziest thing. And then to finally say I'm not a chauffeur is wild. You was never mind. Yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree. I don't think he should have went to the internet to do that and to cause an uproar. I don't think that was personally. I don't think that was wisdom. I know he was probably hurt, but I don't think he should have went that route. But with that being said, I don't think me setting up boundaries is me on my way to church. See my drummer walking in the rain and saying, "Hey, see you when you get to church." I'm sorry, I don't think about boundaries in that way. I mean, I think that's kind of sad, man. Bro, it doesn't take much. It ain't like if this is somebody who like every day at last minute, "Hey, can you come pick me up?"
That's different.
That's different. But this sounds like this was an isolated incident where, hey, he was walking. I saw my pastor driving, and he hit me with the douce and said, "Hey, I'll see you when you get to the church in about 30 minutes." You know what I mean? Like I think about the fact that, I mean, especially when you're in a community, right? Like church is supposed to be community. We look out for one another, and sometimes that means going out of our way to be there for our brother and sister. Like I think about, the Great Samaritan, right? Where he saw my man on the side beaten up, stripped. She saw that he was a Jew. I mean, if we remember, Samaritans and Jews, like they, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a Drake and Kendrick Lamar type of thing. They ain't really rock with each other like that. You know what I mean? But instead, he still...
So many better examples.
Okay.
No, but my thing is, he still went out of his way to take him in, to care for him, and to make sure he was straight.
Yeah.
And that's for them. I mean, that's a different thing. We're talking about our brothers and sisters, our people that we serve with, that we do ministry with, that you're supposed to be shepherding.
Yep.
On your way to church, you still walking, and you like, all right, Doc. Yeah, I just think that's an unfortunate situation.
Gabe, he pulled the pastor pulled. You know how when you pulling up, about to turn into like a driveway or something like that into a store.
Yeah,
and it's like a stop sign or something like that, and you let that person go, and they give you that wave to go. That's exactly what the pastor did. He said,
"Yeah, man." Yeah, man. Look, hey, if that was me, I would feel some type of way, man.
100%.
And I'm aiming to bet. I mean, I'm not a betting man. I don't know what his finances are, but I mean, drummers don't get paid a lot. You know what I mean? So you're 9 times out of 10, he's serving out of probably the goodness of his heart, if he's getting paid at all. You know what I mean? So I would just suspect that, just giving the man a ride, like on your way to church. I don't think that's not you going out of your way. That's not big inconvenience. That's
right.
Yep. Dre, what you got?
Well, number one, niggas. Number two, that's a soul, bro. Like, you don't know what that dude was going through that day. He could have been going through something. You look him straight in his eye and you wave at him. Going through an emotional situation at that time mentally, you gonna sporadically just wild out. And he went to social media about it. And now he may have lost the member, but that's also like losing a soul. Like that's a little trauma there. That's how church hurt happens, right?
Yeah.
Now he gonna go to other churches and say, "Oh, that church."
There's no such thing as church hurt, right?
No such thing as it, according to modern day saints.
When that started,
people,
and
a lot of people devalue.
Fourth of all, I wouldn't say that seeing that from my pastor, I wouldn't have went to. Coming from me as mature as I am, I wouldn't have went to social media. I would have tried to have a face-to-face conversation with the pastor. Like,
what'd you drink?
Your pops left you on the street,
changed, Gabe. I've changed.
Hey, Darrell, you would have a new episode of Deacon Talk.
Driving past the drummer is two totally different things.
Well, I guess.
Well, no, I think
some of our
more unsaved friends, they would just find a drumstick in his tire.
A flat one. But what do y'all? I'm gonna tell y'all the comment that hurt me to my core. Like, it was just like, whoa. The comment, "I'm not a chauffeur."
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a crazy.
It's like, come on, pastor. You can't be making them kind of comments. Like you. Like,
wait, was that one of the replies from the pastor?
That was the pastor's reply.
That's his comment.
Got you. Okay.
He said, "I'm not a chauffeur."
But aren't we all servants?
Yeah.
That's what kills me.
Like, I get it. And then to try to wrap this up in, the pastor is just setting boundaries. that kind of sends me to as we kind of develop this conversation a little bit more. It kind of sends me to the type of toxic. Tonight's conversation is about followership. And this conversation just kind of sends me to the type of toxic followership that some people have, where they will go over the cliff for some leaders, even when they're wrong. They can be completely wrong, but they will defend them over the cliff.
We call those glazers.
What do y'all think about that?
We think about but just okay. That was odd.
we call those glazers, though, to answer his question.
Brian dropped the mic, brother. That was a good.
Okay, so
that's a great question.
Just to make sure. Okay, so the question is, what do you call people who defend? Okay, I'll make a phrase up. Toxic pastorality.
I like that, Norm. I'm gonna use that.
I like that, Norm.
How do you spell that, Norm?
I don't know. I just made it up. But essentially, is the question that what do we feel about people who defend pastors who are acting unpastoral?
And I was intentional. And I was intentional about. Yeah, and I was intentional about not using the term pastor and using the term leader, but since we are the church nerds, most of the leaders that we are reflecting are pastors. But in general, I think sometimes people get so attached to a leader's charisma or personality that they will ignore their flaws and will defend them to the end. Like, is that biblical for us? But you know how some people say, "Oh, it's biblical." They start throwing all these scriptures around about "touch not my anointed" and "do my prophet no harm," and kind of using those types of texts out of context to condone the foolishness of some people. And we all know we ain't gonna name no names. At least I'm not. Dre might. But we see these charismatic leaders all over the internet, and they do all the dumbest stuff and say the dumbest things, and then here comes their parade, all defending their foolishness. What say you about that?
Well, I would go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, agreeing with what Brian is saying. They're charismatic, and like you said, people defending their charisma. And because they have a major platform, it puts the rest of the church in a weird place, because now you have people saying that, every church leader is like this. All they is just after money. They ain't really about people in community. And I'm sitting there, do you know how many churches there are in just the states alone that are probably just a small corner store church? You mean to tell me that small corner store, that community church that's been here for almost like 50 something years, it's trying to get your bread out of some charismatic leader that you see on TV? They highlight the ones that's on TV, but they don't ever want to, don't care about the ones that's actually doing the work.
Yeah, locally,
the local communities, So yeah, go ahead, Norm.
No, I was just trying to look some stuff up here. So to Brian's point, I know there is scripture that supports us defending our leaders and defending our elders from accusations and curses and so on in biblical language. But there is scripture that does say that we should respect our leadership and we should work to not just jump. Yes.
I just want to make sure that my statements are clear. I'm referring to facts, not accusations, but continue.
No, and that's fine. I was getting there. I was getting there, because if you go to 1 Timothy, it refers to not having blind loyalty, especially if you have 2 or 3 witnesses to back up the various statements. Sure, so I know that. So there is some deferential. It shouldn't be just blind loyalty to that. I mean, so yes, we are called to try to defend against accusation. However, intelligence kicks in, and you shouldn't just be blind to everything. Just think, nobody's beyond doing something wrong.
So the member who said, "Oh, the pastor was just setting boundaries," when he said, "I'm not a chauffeur," what do you say to that?
There's a difference between setting boundaries and
blind loyalty.
That sounds like blind loyalty.
Yeah.
I mean, but it happens. I mean, we see it all the time with charismatic leadership. We see this in government. We see this in organizations.
That is very true.
Blindly wrap themselves up in the people that they're working for
without getting facts.
But they get so caught up in it that when you try to give them evidence against it, they take offense to it. I mean, it's been said before that it's easier to fool somebody than to convince somebody they've been fooled, because they get so wrapped up in the craziness of it.
I think. Go ahead, Dre.
I just said they become Delulu.
Yeah, I think so. And so that brings about, a quick transition here, just about we could make this thing a right or wrong, or a us versus them thing, which is what usually happens with these kind of polarized discussions. But really what I think we should kind of center our thinking around, the real issue here. There's character, right? A person's character, whether that be the drummer's character or the pastor's character. Then there's culture, right? Sometimes our cultures make us make decisions a certain way because the culture is whatever it is. And then there's communication. And honestly, I feel like that becomes the biggest issue. Which of these 3 do you all think, plays the most importance in these types of polarized discussions? Is it one's character? Is it one's culture? Or is it just a lack of communication?
I think emotion plays the biggest factor. Because I mean, more so in our churches, I don't want to categorize it black or white, but people respond out of emotion. That's why I said, like, he may have been going through something that day, and that could have been that to me, I feel like that could have been a position for the pastor of trust with the drummer. We don't know what environment the drummer comes from, what background he has. Is he saved? Is he just there to do the job? Is he still a lost soul? But most of us respond off of emotion, so that really could have hurt him, like cut him deep, like dang. Like,
and I'm sure we probably don't know the full like context of the situation too, other than that Facebook post.
Yeah,
that's very fair. I felt like the Facebook post did give us an overall summary, but I mean it's fair. Not all the summary is just that. It's a summary, right? It only gives us an overall understanding, right? But we have what we have, and to that end, right, we have this concept that we talk about in leadership studies called synergistic followership. It's where followers and leaders share partnership, or they have active partnership in the fulfillment of the mission, as opposed to it being us versus them, leaders versus the followers, right? Followers do whatever the leaders say, and leaders make all of the decisions. In synergistic followership, there's more of a partnership role where leaders and followers go in and out of the role of action or decision, etc. We don't see that very much in most of our churches. That concept is kind of foreign, especially in
most of our churches barely have.
I don't know how to characterize the church. So I guess I wonder, to you all, do you think that this has a role in the church? This idea of partnership, leaders and followers coming in and out of the role of followership, and when does it become less helpful for followers to just simply be, in the words of Norm, blindly following and people pleasing versus doing what scholars like Ira Chaleb call, what's the word I want to use? When a person speaks truth to power, or basically gives an opinion that helps to move the needle, as opposed to just blindly going along with a thing.
Well, I think some followers use leaders to be seen by their.
Tell us more.
So based on the leader's status, you want the leader to recognize you, right, amongst other people. So it's almost like a teacher's pet in a way. Like some followers use that as, okay, let me get my 15 minutes of fame and let me, even if the leader is wrong, let me get my 15 minutes of fame to support my leader and let him see, or her, in their eyes, that I'm loyal despite to whatever degree I'm possibly wrong about what I'm saying. And I should maybe be defending the other side and supporting the other side. But however, I want to be seen by the leader. But it also, for some reason, I've kind of observed over the last decade or so that people, they get popularity off of certain leaders. Like I'm this to the leader, I'm that to the leader. I got the leader's back.
I'm his armor bearer.
I'm talking about my bishop. It's weird. It's weird. So, I mean, that could possibly be the problem. Like you said, blind loyalty, but also insignificant popularity that doesn't give you anything but vain pride in whatever you think you're doing, or whatever light you see yourself in. At the end of the day, you wrong. Wrong is wrong. And I feel like some leaders are open to criticism. Some aren't. Some say I'm not a chauffeur. Some say I could have did better. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to look at it like the character of the leader kind of trickles down to the character of the followers. And his followers may not have character.
Yeah. I would say in some instances, not all, but it can be conflated between blind trust and faith.
I agree.
I mean, and with that, because both instances believe in believing without proof. Both instances do. Both instances, it could blind trust. You just believe it's going to happen no matter what. Faith, substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Both instances, there is no physical proof. You're just believing in something.
Mm-hmm.
I would submit the difference is blind trust operates without common sense and with ignoring warning signs. Things are happening that you're choosing to ignore. Versus where faith comes in. Faith has, while yes, it is the belief, you have something positive that drives that belief that something is going to happen for you. So I think, but oftentimes we kind of tie the two together and they work against each other. So that helps also reinforce what that belief is in my leader or whoever I'm going, because I'm thinking blind trust and faith is the same thing when it's actually not.
Right.
That's good, Norm.
I just wanted to ask real quick. I'm sorry, Pastor B. I just wanted to ask, like Norm said that they choose. Praise him, Armani Bell. They choose not to see it. Why do you think people choose not to, or choose to ignore the signs?
Well, let me. I was headed to a question that's very similar, so let me just go ahead and compound it on that question, right? So, Norm, you say people ignore. What about the people who don't ignore it? They see it, but they decide to remain silent in the name of loyalty. Is there a difference between loyalty and silence? I don't agree with what I see, but I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I'm gonna sit here and act like everything is okay, right? Like this guy walking down the street, I know good and well I don't agree with the fact the pastor left that guy on the corner, but I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be silent about it. Is there a difference between silence? What is the difference between loyalty and silence? I'm just silent.
Is that
one is coward.
To anybody.
One is cowardice. One is evil.
I think we have to assess, like, okay, like what exactly is being done, because I think there's a difference between, like, of course, trusting your leader in regards to something that you may not agree with, from seeing like sin and saying, "Hey, I'ma still be." you know,
like, we're laughing, but this is reality.
It's serious.
Right?
It's very reality.
So, no, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, super serious. Like, I think about how many times have we dealt with our parents coming up and they did something, you know what I mean, that we probably didn't agree with, that we found out later that was for our benefit or something. You know what I mean? So I think we first have to distinguish between whether or not this is like a sin issue, which I believe you could like argue, if you go down to the root of this situation that we're talking about, it could be a sin issue. But we got to distinguish whether or not this is a sin issue, or do I just not agree with my leader because my preference seems to be challenged or not.
I see what you're saying, Gabe. That makes sense. I mean,
go ahead, Dre.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I appreciate Gabe helping to keep the conversation balanced, right? But I think we are referencing that very thing that you're saying, right? An individual who is doing wrong, and instead of us addressing the wrong, we ignore it.
Right.
Well, could it be that ignoring it is I'll use the word safety mechanism, because I tried saying something before and I got smacked down. So now this time I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be hurt again.
And that's not healthy.
I agree. It's not healthy at all. But it happens.
It's been there
all the time. Not all the time. It happens frequently. And I have seen that in secular world. I've seen that in Reformation world, where a person who may speak up about a topic that is in disagreement or a cross purpose to what a leader says, they get smacked down. They're done. They're not going to subject themselves to possibly being smack down, again, thereby contributing to the silence. I've definitely seen that as a safety mechanism.
And maybe people just they don't like confrontation. Some people are just some people don't like confrontation. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna call you out. If you want to go both for both, we can go both for both. That's cool. But in my regard, I don't want anything to be elongated. And then your mind begin to think, okay, it's okay for me to do this because I'm always have this person, backing me up or supporting.
Or you become the punching bag because you take it.
Go. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, we should go back to Brian's original question. I think you were talking about like which is more, like in our opinion, important, like the character, the culture, and what else was it?
Communication.
So I think it goes back to that character piece, right? Because I think if we can talk about culture within church and organizations all we want, but if like the leader isn't being formed, then none of that stuff is going to matter. Like you could put systems and stuff in place all you want. I think it was Tim Keller or whoever it was. I forget. Maybe I just heard it from him. But he said something like culture eats like systems for breakfast or something like that. I'm sure Brian could probably correct me if I'm wrong. But it all goes back to that person who is setting the culture in place. And if we're not being formed as leaders, then that is going to affect whatever culture that we push to our church, because there's going to be a churcher or a culture either way. Like just because you're not setting good culture in place doesn't mean that the place is culture less. You're just promoting or not even knowing that you're birthing a toxic culture.
Yep. Maxwell describes it as the worst behavior allowed. Culture is the worst behavior allowed, right? And so whatever it is that we allow, our behaviors that we allow creates the culture of a place. And the reality is that in many places of worship and again, I do want to make sure that we're even-handed even in our discussion tonight. That not all churches experience these issues, but many do, right? The data shows us that many do, where the culture that is bred is that some people are dispensable and some people are indispensable. And sometimes we see that play out in situations like these. Even though the Bible speaks very plainly that while we're one body and all members in particular, every part of the body ought to be honored, right? And I think sometimes we have become a people who get fixated on giving one part of the body all the honor, as if it takes anything away from the head when the rest of the body is honored, right? When the rest of my body feels good, my head feels good. And when I got a headache, I got some problems in the other part of my body too. So I think we do ourselves a disservice sometimes when we create these narratives that leaders and followers can't coexist in a space where they go in and out of positions of action. And when we fixate, we fix leadership into a box, right? Where we don't recognize the giftings and the callings of all in their rightful place, if that makes sense.
That's good.
I want to I like what Gabe and then what he was speaking back on Pastor B was talking about the character, and then character, culture, and community. It all goes back to that first thing, which is the head thing, which is the character of somebody, right? If that character is setting a good standard, good foundation, then the culture is going to reflect the character of that leader. And then when the culture is reflecting the leader, then that community is going to reflect what the culture is doing, because the culture is reflecting what the character is, and I think that it's really spirit led, because I think that people have to see the characteristic from the leader to make sure it's really God driven. Steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So it's a trickle effect.
Yeah,
right? It's all a trickle effect. So
yeah. I mean, shout out to Dallas Willard, man. Like rest in peace to him. But he's one of the, I don't want to say founding fathers or anything, but he's one of the initial pushers of spiritual formation. And one of his things for leaders is that spiritual formation is the intentional transformation of the inner person into the character of Christ, right? Like that is one of our ultimate goals, right? To become more like Christ. And as we become more like him, as we spread the gospel, as we build up these ministries and stuff like that, then that's when that culture and stuff, like you said, Jay, can be reflected because that leader is pushing it. Culture cannot, like intentionally, cannot be pushed unless the leader is shaping it from the vision. You know what I mean? Like culture can be pushed, like toxic culture, but in terms of like intentionally pushing healthy culture that is mirroring what God has called us to do, I think that leader has to be super intentional in making sure that he's consistently in the process of being formed into the image of Christ, and therefore having everything else flow from that.
Well, it's like you said. I'm sorry, Dre. The Bible says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. I think characteristic goes along with it's a mindset. And if the pastor or whoever or the leader or whatever is chosen or by Christ, he should have that mindset of Christ, because Christ was what? He had a different mindset in his time, and he was changing the culture.
Had to be renewed, yeah.
He had to be renewed. He was changing the culture, and then when he was changing that culture, that means a different community was going to follow suit with that. So it like you said, it's just a trickle effect. It just goes all the way down. Go ahead, Dre. I'm sorry.
How often should you renew your vision to keep up with evolution?
I think at least
every
couple of years.
Okay. Some visionaries never change, which it works for some and it doesn't work for others. So that's how I asked the question.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue, actually, to like we talked about this conversation from the perspective of follower versus leader. But what about younger versus older, right? What about the young and the old divide? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead, Norm, because you're the apostolic father.
Well, thank you. Before I speak as the eldest,
rebuke us, Norm.
As the eldest amongst the young.
I'm my brother's keeper.
So you left again.
Every time you start talking, Norm, they just leave.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was just joining along with them.
No, okay.
He's following the leader.
Just for contextual question, when you say young versus old,
I was just going to add more context. I agree. I kind of left it on a cliffhanger. So like in most cases, younger individuals or younger members often value access and transparency and collaboration. Like we live in a generation where, understanding the why is important to their ability to flow and to follow, right? You have very few followers these days of the younger generation. I'm talking, and I know everybody got the buzzwords millennials, but millennials grown with kids, and we're not even talking about them anymore. We're talking about Gen Z and Gen Alpha, right? They value this transparency and collaboration, while older members often value order. Just do what I say. I'm older, so I know more. I earn my trust. I earn my stripes and stability, right? Synergy requires this translation, right? Not these stereotypes that we put on certain groups and demographics. So when we talk about synergistic leadership or followership, once again, we're talking about two types of things, individuals being able to work together to achieve a goal. And so how do we work through this divide where youngers feel dismissed as immature because they're younger when they're actually trying to contribute or trying to help achieve a goal?
Well, okay, thank you for that. I would submit this. You definitely need both. Ultimately, I mean, I look at our government. I am never a fan of how our structure of government is. You have people who are in their 80s and 90s dictating policy on people who are in their 30s and 20s and below. Time has radically shifted from when these older people were in these younger people's place. Now, the Bible has also mentioned that nothing is new under the sun. Very true. Things are occurring. History tends to repeat itself. Very true. However, people's experiences and generational norms have changed. How we process things have changed. So to go into a thought process that only people of a certain generation know the way, and they know the way to navigate this new generation, I think is ultimately sets you up for failure. You need some element of sustainability to connect your younger generation, so that way they know they have a voice, to the older generation that knows the structure of how things are supposed to be. I think that's where your synergy comes in and allows everybody to grow and change for this. Because at a certain point, these older people are going to be gone. And if there's no connective to the younger, now you have a situation where everything falls off a cliff. Or the people who are still older and hanging around and we shaking their heads saying, my, what has happened to what we built?
Yeah.
What you built was never transferred.
Yeah. And then how do we avoid? Go ahead, Darrell.
I would say then they start thinking, we don't have none of the young people want to work, or none of the young people want to do things because they're not there. But it's like, you never gave them that opportunity. I think this is where that communication piece is the most important, where you have truly, a lot of times, corporate world, you hear, or even in the church, you hear the open door policy. You really truly need an open door policy where they should, the young should be able to come up to you and vice versa. It should be, open communication where they can share ideas, share thoughts, share processes. Maybe this is the way we can consider it. And, on the other end, the younger need to, be open to even learning the old ways to understand why it was done, how it was done. And then, once they do that, then you can truly, give advice or thoughts on how you can improve. So it truthfully really comes down to communication.
Yeah. So how do we avoid? And maybe Norm, we could put Tabari's comment up. I think it's a very interesting comment. Thank you so much for joining and for your comment tonight. So I think if you show your leader you are there to support and not looking to prove a point or trying to take over, those leaders are willing to pour into younger vessels. And we would hope this to be true. And we think that this is true in some institutions and churches and organizations. We do, however, know that it's not true in all organizations and institutions. And I think it's important for us to be able to value the thought process that that's not always the case, because we have to, until we deal with the flesh of men, right? Because we all live in flesh and people get offended, right? They get offended sometimes at the smallest things because what is presumed to be one taking over or trying to take over or even prove a point isn't always one trying to take over or prove a point. Sometimes it is simply that I am trying to operate in my God-gifted calling. And we know timing is everything, and we've heard all those cliches that folks have used. It ain't the right time. It ain't your time yet. And all this stuff we use, but in reality, are we just stifling a thing or creating a divide as opposed to using this kind of synergistic followership that we're talking about, where we learn to coexist in the same space as one body to fulfill the mission that God has given us?
And that's the thought. To piggyback off of Brian, what he just said, I agree with everything but the takeover portion. Yeah. We don't want this. Let me be honest with you. Like we don't want to take over anybody's position, but going back to something Brian said prior to at the start of the conversation, if there's a why, then, we'll understand and we'll move forward from that. But if it's a why, then we'll be willing to do more. Cause y'all, the older community never gives us a why. It's always a closed-ended conversation.
Well, that's a culture thing. That's a culture thing from their generation.
Yeah. I get that, but it's still a problem. I mean, because that's just it is.
I was trying to be balanced, like Gabe.
I understand. I understand, but in some way, shape, or form, they try to shield us from truth that we're more prepared to take than they are. because that's all.
I think sometimes we, like, as humans, I think sometimes we deal with like suspicion, right? Like the older generation could look at us and take what we're saying as if we are saying what they built no longer like matters or something, right? And meanwhile, the younger generation is looking at what they're or how they're coming at us and saying, okay, we just want to know if there's any room in this for us. You know what I'm saying? So I think one of those things that we have to deal with is like that suspicion that the older generation, yeah, we can say that. We can say, hey, they should be willing to release control, but also at the same time knowing that we don't want them to feel erased either.
Yeah, I
Don't want
totally
them to
agree.
feel, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we also, and again, like if I'm trying to stay balanced, like Brian is, I think we also have to understand that we have to honor our history.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
While at the same time not feeling trapped by it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go, Gabe. I like that.
You know what I mean?
That's good, Gabe. That's the doctorate that you've been working on. So that's good.
I took a break, so I'm hopping back on. I'm hopping back on. Yeah. But no, I think both of us, because I think sometimes like there is that temptation to like look at the other side of the fence and say, hey, like they don't understand us. I think we have to take time to like step in each other's shoes and realize like, hey, I think a lot of us are just fearful of what we may lose.
I'm about to say, I think a lot of it comes down to trust as well on both parties, where you trust that, hey, I'm not here to try to take over, what you're doing. I care about this entity. I care, that this entity or whatever, this church, whatever we're dealing with here is here for the next 30, 40 years beyond you and beyond me. So I want to be able to help where I can with that and not trying to move you out the way right now. But again, like Norm said, if unfortunately you are older or you are in this position, and if you go right now and no one else knows what you do or how you've done it in this situation, then now we're scrambling trying to figure out a whole new process, reinventing the wheel. Well, hey, if you just showed me the ropes of the wheel and then, or whatever the case may be, we would be better off.
I think it just all comes down to investing. You have children. It's similar when you have children. You invest, into your children. You put in a trust fund. You put in something that's going to build over time, to where when it's time for them to take it, it's all built up and ready for them to control at the end. So it's all like Auntie Delphine and all saying, it's mentorship. It's investing. When you invest in something, that means you trust it for it to build and grow over time, and it'll be ready to eventually be have value when it's at the end.
So I'm gonna y'all know me. I'll be saying crazy stuff. So here's my challenge to because y'all be talking very positively, which is great and wonderful. This is a different dimension of this. And this is because this is very real as well. It's not uncommon for people who are in leadership for an extended period of time to have that role become themselves as well. They've been doing something for so long, so way that it has literally merged with them.
Yeah, they are the role.
They are the role. Now, a lot of it can happen unintentionally, but with time, if you do something long enough, you become the thing.
Yeah.
So
that's dangerous.
Let me give you
dangerous, but it can happen.
Oh, you
happen, and you don't even plan for it to happen, but it can happen.
Yeah.
That's why soul care and formation is important, man.
It's very important. And
we have to find our identity in Christ and not in what He's called
not in our role.
And not in our role. Because what can happen is, because we are finite beings and we're working in a role that we hope is going to last beyond us. Now you have a dissonance happening where you're seeing the end of the road, but you're tied to this role at the same time. So now you have another person. Now you have to find a way to pass this to another person. Where going back to one of the C's is communication, because that helps build that trust. Because you start feeling, can't nobody do this the way I do it.
Yeah.
And if I give it to somebody and it falls apart, now I got to come back and fix it. So just let me keep doing it. If they take some time and just think back when they were a young person.
And Jesus, I'll never forget what you done for me. That's why you can't forget.
You cannot forget. Lest I forget.
Yeah. And even in that statement, can't nobody do this the way I do it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, but
you know what I mean? Like,
where's the spiritual formation in that?
I'm gonna tell you now, that's flesh.
I agree. Flesh. But I'm sure all of us have heard a very spiritual person in our lives make that very fleshly statement.
Well, I heard it.
Everybody do it like I do it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody right but me.
All right,
I will build mine.
I agree, but we're gonna say this for part 2 with our guest before Andre gets us in trouble, because he said he heard it recently, and we're not gonna go down that road. Okay,
I didn't hear him say that.
Oh, he said it.
We save it for part 2.
Oh, he said it. Y'all was talking good, but he said it. I just heard him. All right, but
through this
no.
J Baldwin's Professor X anointing is tapping in.
Yeah, I gotta get Cerebro and get into his mind and say, like, look, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop it. Listen,
we gotta put the brakes on this, y'all.
Listen, we gotta put the brakes on this, because there's a lot more to what we can say, and we don't want to get on. We want to walk on the
people are here now. They're here.
The people are here, but the people will definitely come back for a part 2.
Yeah, come on back.
They'll definitely come back for a part 2. Listen, this has been a great episode of the Church Nerds. Are we going to have a part 2 to this? But we're going to have a very special guest for our part 2. It's none other than the newly consecrated district elder, Dr. Nicholas Pierce, out of Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
And he will be our special guest to continue on this subject with my brothers. And make sure you share this podcast, share this with somebody that is looking to feel encouraged. There might be a member, a musician, usher, whoever,
drummer just trying to get to church.
A drummer just trying to get to church.
A drummer. The pastor said, "Uber is your portion."
Listen, I'm just glad that this story. I'm just glad this story happened during the summertime, because if this would have been winter and he walked,
I would have been through with it. I would have been through with the.
I would have been done.
I would have thrown the drum check at the car.
That day I would have been. Hey, I need y'all to pay me more so I can give me a car.
For real, we got to do.
Listen, at the car is crazy work.
Yeah.
Listen, get ready for our part 2. We want you to make sure you continue to love the Church Nerds upon all our platforms. Norm, we got a video before we get up out of here.
We do have a video, but see, I'm gonna take this moment to get my Andy Dufresne on. For those that have seen Shawshank, will y'all start rolling your eyes and let me finish my statement? Jeez,
we didn't roll our eyes. We just
Gabe did. His eyes. He was the Undertaker. Man, they went all the way to the back of his head. Calm down. No. I recently put a post out. I shared it from the page about the Church Nerds and Bishop Gates being on Kingdom Conversation and League Conference. So I want to make it my mission to state this every single time I can, because I'm gonna bring this to fruition. That at the League Conference, if y'all want to see
that conversation,
no. If y'all want to see the Church Nerds and Bishop Lambert Gates at the League Conference for Kingdom Conference, it don't have to be the main one. It could be the side one for the youth or whatever. But I think it would be super awesome if that happened. So petition your congressmen, tell your senators, and the district elders.
And shout out to Bishop Gates too, doing such a wonderful job as presider of the PCAF. Been leading for the past 8 to 10 years. I think he's been doing it.
10 years.
10 years. This year.
You know what I mean? Led us through, the coronavirus. And, you know what I mean? Yeah. Such a wonderful job. So shout out to Bishop Gates.
Now, comment line, I see y'all saying yes. They with me. The people are with us. So I'm gonna tell y'all, Kingdom Conversations, the Church Nerds, Bishop Gates is gonna be. It's the 70th Come on, y'all.
It's the 70th.
You don't get no better than that.
Yep.
In Las Vegas.
70.
In Las Viva Vegas.
Well, Lee is going to be in.
20 years.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Lee's in Jackson.
Oh,
at the Honorable Bishop Forson's church.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would love to get some hospitality down in Mississippi.
Yeah, this may be another miss for me.
Stay away from them sundowns.
Can we play the video?
Okay.
Play the video.
Whoever driving to Mississippi for the lead, stay away from them sundown towns. I give you a list.
I got enough of
really, Andre.
I'm serious.
All right. So today's video is just something interesting.
See what happened to Nolan.
Okay.
Man. We just call this one, Why Do We Do This?
I like that. That's
real. Man, I don't even know.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all see those ones where it's something similar, and then the thought put in like gay. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Gay. When I saw that video, I saw myself in some of the things the guy was doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no explanation for that. I'm screaming. Hey, listen, this has been another episode of the
What
Church
up, Levi?
Nerd. We got the mini church nerd on with us. We got Levi Alexander on with us.
That's he the leader of phase 2.
The leader of phase 2?
Oh yeah.
And hey, look, we got to give up this leadership.
Church nerd succession.
Yeah.
We got to retire, bro.
You know, I'm getting old.
Let's pick up where the Winans messed up at.
Where the Winans? It's crazy.
Did they have like a phase 2?
They did have a phase 2.
They did. Okay, but that wasn't the Winans' fault, my man.
That's not the Winans' fault, Gabe. Don't.
Hey man.
Don't.
Character. What we talking about? Character.
Hey, did they start didn't they resume the construction on
Yeah, he's supposed to have.
Okay, come on. Hey, okay, let's just.
We're not about to talk about the bishop tonight. Okay. I'm gonna have my wife on my head.
They had the day of giving coming up. It was like 1,000 and 1,000.
I don't know if he ever gonna give.
Yeah, it's supposed to be done this year.
Yeah, well,
I think they got to working on it too. So
I'm not holding my breath, but let's go on and end this. Amen.
Listen, this has been another episode of the Church Nerds. Jay Baldwin, Norman Heath, Darrell Walls, Pastor B, Gabe Jordan, and Andre Buford. We will see you next time on another episode of the Church Nerds.
Jay, tell your wife I tried, man.
Jay, say my name right.